Hey everyone, and welcome to my first ever video on Star Citizen. And pretty much actually, I'm not sure how to start this as it's my first time doing a video on Star Citizen. Really want to give some food for thoughts on this, what actually Star Citizen is. And let's be honest, is it delivering? Truthfully, I actually do think this year is going to be the biggest year for Star Citizen. And the reason I'm saying that there is looking at its patches and what it wants to release this year, including the polishing of the stand system, which we've had in the public testing universe for many years now. I do believe this year is going to be the one that makes or breaks this game. Personally speaking, I would love to see this game make it. I think many people would. It's essentially what Elite Dangerous wanted to be, what No Man's Sky wanted to be. The only difference is Star Citizen is crowdfunded and the amount of money in it is fucking scandalous, with it still being in alpha. But to be truthful, I'm just glad that it's a playable game. Truthfully, I do enjoy it, but at the same time it's still alpha. Anyways, first off, what about the pricing for Star Citizen? I live in Britain, so I'll try my best to translate some prices. To get into the game, it costs about £43 minimum. That's for the base entry package, which is about $50–$60, give or take, possibly. That's for the basic Mustang entry package, which it seems to be about the normal price for a game now, about 40 quid. So, the only real difference is that this game isn't completed. But saying that there, you can never buy a complete game nowadays. You just need to look at Call of Duty and everything. You get all the microtransactions and you get all the season pass DLCs. Essentially still you have completed game. In all reality, they really do. But what can you do? So the prices range anywhere between £43, about $50–$60, up to £14,400, which is maybe about $18,000, give or take. If the page would refresh, I want to exit. Yeah, no, $18,000 is bang on dot actually. So, while people will say, "Oh, pay to win Star Citizen," Star Citizen isn't pay to win in any aspect. All ships available that are playable in game can be purchased with in-game currency, can be upgraded with in-game currency. So, pay to win aspect, there isn't a pay to win aspect in that regards. Everything you can get in game, you can get in game. I've got a Hammerhead in game that I never bought using real money. I've got an Eclipse, done the exact same. So I'll just want to squash that pay to win aspect right on the dot. Star Citizen is polishing up nicely. In all truthfulness, I will give credit where it's due. While its development is slow and it could have been more streamlined, personally speaking, I can't say how I would streamline it as I don't know. I'm not worked on their Cloud Emporium games, so I can't say truthfully how their development team works. But going by their roadmap, potentially to do work in small teams on multiple different parts of the game, maybe getting a massive super team together to focus on one area might produce content faster. You never know, but I'm not going to. Unless I work with their system, I'm not going to question their system. I just believe there is methods that could be more streamlined, and I think they should have potentially poked other game developers, especially ones like Bungie or any of the really large ones, for tips and tricks and ideas potentially. I'm sure there's plenty out there that would be more than happy to help, especially when they've got such big names voicing characters such as Mark Hamill. I'm sure they could have got help and advice from any of them really, especially a return for either a pledge package or something. Let's be honest, game developers are all geeks like us, we all love games. But yeah, no, this year I think it's going to be the make or break of Star Citizen. They've implemented plenty of playable ships, they've implemented many mechanics to the game. I love the flawless transition between planets to atmosphere to landing. I absolutely adore it. I love being able to fly in my Andromeda, missile down the aircraft batteries, land, and go into ground combat. I love being in my Eclipse stealth bomber, sneaking up in hammerheads and torpedoing them. enjoy the PvP aspect. While yes, the AIs in the game needs refinement, 110%. It's still an alpha, so it's forgivable. I do believe though, as I said earlier on, development could have been more streamlined, in my personal opinion. I don't know how they could have done it. I do believe they could have streamlined it a bit more, but it is as it is, truthfully. It's a game I'm happy I pledged to. I'm enjoying the content of it now. Admittingly, I took a hiatus on the game as I went back to War Thunder, and truthfully speaking, War Thunder has more bugs, more server issues than Star Citizen, and that's saying something. The only difference is War Thunder do not want to invest in developing the game's core mechanics. They just want to add more content and drain the players dry of money, and the players are happy enough to give Gaijin money. Yeah, no, it's scary to think that Star Citizen is actually more stable than War Thunder at times. It really is scary to think that, but hopefully Star Citizen will continue to improve what it is. I think many of you would agree though that this year will be the make or break for Star Citizen. With it having its most successfully financial year, I do believe its pledges should be all met, especially on the roadmap. With the amount of money that's being invested, there's no excuses now. Now, I understand some ships and all will be late, they might not release right away. However, I do feel like if they cannot keep up with production, they need to be outsourced. They need to hire. And things are financially tough at the moment, 110%. And I'm sure there's plenty of developers, plenty of freelancers that would be more than willing to help. Like, personally speaking, I would love to make content officially for the game, make videos more and more often for it, and do streams and all for it. Well, I do stream at the minute. If you want to check me out on Twitch for that other one, more than welcome to, or join us in Discord. Discord link should be in the description of this video. But yeah, no, 110%. This game has now gone to the point where it's no excuses if this game doesn't get polished up in the next 3 or 4 years. It was the same as War Thunder, and that's the reason why I'm giving this game such a long chance to get polished. War Thunder took many years to develop. 2012 I was playing War Thunder 4. The guts of 10, 12 years now, technically speaking. War Thunder is technically just out of beta, technically. So I'm more than happy to give this game a long lifespan before it gets to it. The only difference is War Thunder disappointed me with how the developers treated the game. Even though it was no fault of the developers for it, it was the malbusiness practices of their CEO which forces profits over the actual game. So the developers are forced just to produce content instead of actually fixing their stuff. But what can you do? And the same with the poor content management of the game at times. As the larger content managers feel it's fine to slag off smaller ones, but what can you do? What can you do? It's how the business world works. But anyways, overall though, I'm happy with the progress of Star Citizen. I feel like it's definitely a game, if you're into space games, into sci-fi, it's worth the investment. But please do not invest, please remember to have a solid PC when you invest in this game. A solid graphics card, an SSD, and most importantly of all, a good CPU. This game is a very intensive game. I would not recommend it with any less than 16 gig of RAM. Personally speaking, 24, 32 gig you will need. However, it is possible to play on 16, though I do feel like you need to be very, how would you put it, if you're playing it on less than 16, definitely keep an eye on your usage of your CPU, definitely keep an eye on your core temps. And I just don't think it would run well on less than 16. I've heard people do it, but I just don't think it would have the development yet to do it. And that leads me on to my next point. I do think Star Citizen needs optimization. Optimization. However, I understand why the optimization isn't taking on yet. And the reason I say that is optimizing the game in its current state in alpha, or public testing universe, leaves the potential for bugs to be patched over that won't be fixed. It comes with it leaves legacy errors, which we've seen on EVE Online, in which CCP had to pretty much strip everything back to the core and fix its legacy errors with one big update. It's something I wish War Thunder would do, but that won't ever happen. And I feel like Star Citizen, while yes, it's good that it's fixing bugs as it goes, I do believe some core optimizations would be perfect. Rendering issues, hitboxes, some just basic optimizations, even FPS optimizations. Like, I'm running a 1080 Ti. Don't get me wrong, I'm getting 30 FPS. In most places 30 FPS. I'm getting 25 FPS when I'm streaming. I've seen myself hit 40, 45 FPS. Ideally speaking, saying you need a graphics card with 4 gig VRAM, I would expect to be hitting 60 FPS all the time on a 1080, but I'm not going to complain as it is an alpha game, and I do believe eventually a solid 60 FPS will be achievable on a 1080 Ti when the game is fully released. Though, don't get me wrong, I plan on upgrading my graphics card as soon as possible, and my CPU. I'm still running an i7, but financially speaking, I don't have the money at the minute, but we'll get there eventually. Anyways, with that there, everyone, hope you enjoyed the little food for thoughts and discussion on Star Citizen, sharing my opinion on it. Hopefully I'll get to make more Star Citizen content, as it's a game I'm starting to enjoy. Thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe.